The CEO's spoiled son thought he could bully me out of my job, but now I run the entire company, and he works in the mailroom. I started as an entry-level accountant, eventually working my way up to accounting manager because I was reliable and didn't cause problems. Everything changed when Old Man Baxter's son, Carter, returned from his 5th attempt at business school, and his father handed him the keys to my department. Carter was 32, but acted 19. Designer suits, sports cars, and the attitude of someone who'd never heard the word no. His idea of leadership was streamlining for efficiency, firing half the staff and making the rest do twice the work. When I tried explaining why his ideas wouldn't work, he'd cut me off with buzzwords about thinking outside the box. The breaking point came when I caught him double-counting revenue in quarterly reports, making our worst quarter look like our best. I corrected the figures and sent them to him, thinking he'd be grateful. Instead, he stormed into my office the next morning and threatened my job. For weeks after, he made my life hell. Impossible deadlines, exclusion from meetings, reassigning my team members. I was about to quit when Richard Baxter, the CEO himself, emailed me. He'd seen my corrections and asked what I thought of his son's leadership. I told him everything. Instead of firing me, he assigned me a special project evaluating our financial processes across all divisions. For 6 months, I traveled, gathered data, and built a comprehensive picture of the company. What I didn't know was that Richard had cancer and was putting his affairs in order. At a board meeting where I presented my findings, Richard announced he was stepping down and recommending me as the new CEO. Carter exploded, calling it his birthright, but the board voted unanimously for me. Richard later told me his son needed to learn there's more to running a company than being born a Baxter. I offered Carter a regional manager position, but he refused to work for a former employee. The only other opening was in the mailroom. Surprisingly, he took it. 2 years later, Carter's worked his way up to sales and is doing well. Turns out, when he has to earn something, he's not completely useless. Old Man Baxter still calls monthly. He says making me CEO was his best decision, but I think his second best was making his son start in the mailroom.